It's a trap!
A Zoid.
Hey, math people. Yeah, it was a Star Wars reference. Yes, this is a Star Wars video. Yes, try out this Star Wars related math puzzle. So you're staring at some numbers and letters and stuff. Kind of looks like a math soup, but it is something that can be simplified. So what I want you to do, pause the video, try this out, simplify this expression, and try to pick up on the reference. Solve the Star Warsy aspect of this puzzle rather than just the math itself. So I'm going to go over the answers in 5 seconds. I would pause the video. 3, 2, 1.
First step back here, we have the fourth root of r to the 8th times d to the 18th. And that's all over the square root of d to the 5th. So I see r is all by its lonesome here. How about we use the definition of a rational exponent and sort of reconsider this as r to the 8/4. 8 is that power which serves as your numerator, and 4 is that index which serves as your denominator. That's something I can simplify. 8 divided by 4 is just that 2, so this is the same thing as r squared. Let's rewrite the rest of this. Here we have the fourth root of d to the 18th all over the square root of d to the 5th. Since this sort of more or less behaves like a fraction, this 18 and 4, 18 over 4, for the rational exponent fraction, what we can do there is we can simplify it. We can say, well, those are both divisible by 2. So with that said, this would be r squared. Well, we can divide them both by 2. We take the square root of d to the 9th over the square root of d to the 5th. So just remember that when you have no index, it's assumed to be a 2. It's kind of like a hidden 2 there. Okay, and now notice that these are both square roots. We can merge them underneath that same square root roof to get d to the 9th over d to the 5th inside that square root. I can simplify this. I know that by properties of exponents, I can take 9 minus 5 to get 4. And now we have r squared times the square root of d to the 4th. Finally, again, this is sort of like a hidden 2 here as the index. 4 divided by 2 is 2. r to the second power, d to the second power. Wonder what that's referencing. Okay, next one's kind of strange. We got c to the 50th, and then that's to the second, and then that's to the second, times c to the negative 14 squared. So we got like a power and a power. We can simplify that, and that's all over c, which is to the first power. We can just keep that in mind. Top left, I would simplify that first. I know I can multiply all these by one another. So 50 times 2 is 200. Let's see, 14 squared, that is 196. So times c to the negative 196. And then that's just all over c to the first still. We can just now add these two up top. We can say, well, 200 plus negative 196, that's c to the 4th, and then that's still all over c to the 1st. Lastly, we can just use that basic property of exponents and subtract here. 4 minus 1 is 3. Here we get c to the 3rd. Okay, another kind of strange one here. We got the cube root of b to the 4th times the cube root of b to the 77th. In language, that's kind of hard to say out loud, but in writing very clearly, we're taking the cube root of this whole expression underneath that radical. A few ways we can do this. I'm going to rewrite these as rational exponents. So I'm going to say this is the cube root of, this is b to the 4/3 times b to the 77/3. So now we can add what's on the inside here. That's not awful. 4 plus 77 is 81. So here we have b to the 81 over 3. 81 divided by 3 is 27. We have the cube root of b to the 27th. Lastly, we can use properties of rational exponents one last time. We can say that's 27/3 up above to get b to the 9th. Okay, once you simplify all three, you get r squared d squared plus c cubed plus b to the 9th. As far as this Star Wars math puzzle goes, r squared d squared is a dead giveaway as to what this is. This is very clearly R2D2. Nothing too fancy there. Keeping the droid in mind, I see that c to the 3rd is something that could fall in line with R2D2. C3, we're just missing the PO. C3PO is actually there. C3PO is there because we know that p to the 0th power is just 1, so this p to the 0th was sort of hidden in there all along. Lastly, keeping that droid idea in mind, we have b to the 9th, we're missing BB-8, but not really. Again, BB-8's right here all along. I can actually split this into b to the first, here I can write this here, b to the first times b to the eighth. We can just add the exponents to get this b to the ninth, and we can just write it as BB8. And that's our final droid of the three.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
These aren't the droids we're looking for.
That's all I have for you in this Star Wars special. I'm going to ask you to continue to math on, and I will do the same. I'll see you in the next video.